Hey everybody, I want to do a quick forward to this video. I realize that there are literally thousands of videos out there now on YouTube about the big boy since it's been refurbished and has been running across America. This video, however, is about more than that. The big boy part of it's really cool, but this is about a road trip with my dad. From the time I left my house till the time I got back to it, and all the crap that we did and that we saw. And so bear with me. The train section of this, if you want to fast forward to it or whatever, that's cool. I understand. But I love my dad. We have a really good relationship, and got to spend the day with him today for the first time in a long time, and I really enjoyed it, and so did he. And that's the heart of this video. Thanks. Hey everybody, it is about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm getting ready to go pick up my dad, and we're going to go over to Kelso and catch the big boy as it comes through, and then maybe go down to Yermo, see what the crowds are like down there. But we stopped at Colton in 2013. Dad and I went down to the California Blacksmith Conference at Vista, California. On the way back, we stopped at Colton Yard, and they were getting ready to tow the 4014 back to Cheyenne at that time from Pomona and start refurbishing it, and it's all done. So we're heading out, and then we'll stop, grab something to eat, and head out to Kelso. It's about a 4-hour drive from Bakersfield, and looking forward to seeing the big boy run. I've seen the Challenger, now I'll see the big boy, and it'd be cool for my dad to see it too. All right, on we go. Well, we stopped up here in Tehachapi at the Village Grill. Filled up our tummies. It's really nice up here today. It's nice and cool. It's supposed to be pretty warm today. We're gonna head on out from here. And no more stops till we get to Kelso. There's Pop. He's all got his belly full too. Say hi, Pop.
Howdy.
We are mounting up, heading out. Next stop, Kelso. All right, here we go. Well, we have arrived at Kelso, me and Dad. There's the depot right there. Got a train coming. There's a few people here, not a lot, that's good. They'll probably all swarm in about 10 minutes of 12. But right now, it's still pretty calm here. Been talking to a couple friendly people about history. Here comes a eastbound, down the main, up the main, coming to Kelso. He'll be heading to SEMA. There's a big derailment on the mountain at Tehachapi, at a place called Woodford. So they have the main line shut down, and they tell them that's a good thing they didn't plan on running the big boy over the mountain. They're going to just go home fast instead, which they planned on originally anyway. But as you can see, there's the depot. When I used to work out here, that place was still boarded up. UP donated it to the state of California, the park system. They refurbished it and turned it into a nice little museum. We'll go check that out here in a little while. We still have about an hour and a half before the steam engine is supposed to be here. So we have some time to diddle around. I'm not going to stay parked over here. Get over on the other side of the tracks. No fences and things like that. But it's nice and warm today. I think it's supposed to be about 90. So we'll head into the depot there, the museum, check that out. Moving on. This is the front of the depot. They did such an excellent job on this. All this was boarded up when I worked out here. Got the little lunchroom sign. You can go to my Instagram and see a picture of that on my vintage neon light section. More and more people showing up out here. Pop over there getting some pictures. When this was in its heyday, there were a lot more trees here. This was almost completely covered with trees, and there was this walkway here. There was no fence around it. It was like a little split rail fence, but there was a boarding platform out there. Obviously no longer a need for that. Well, we'll wait for the train to show up. We still got about an hour. All right, moving on. We're in the inside the depot museum here. There's not a lot to see down here. A little history of the cinder cones and domes and the old little ranches that used to be around here. When we leave, we'll pass by the cinder cone formations out there. History of the geology of the area. Indian stuff. Native people, I should say. This is, they've got this closed off now. Back there is where the ticket office and all that, and the telegrapher's office and everything was back there. I don't know why they have it closed off now. That's kind of a bummer. Maybe people were messing it up or something. I don't know. Looking out, that Baker is in that direction. Wow, I'm surprised that they've closed that off. I'll have to ask them why. Now it's just cliche artwork. Sorry, that's what I think it is. All right, well, I thought that the telegrapher and ticket agent office was closed, but they have it open for today. They said they had this closed because they don't have enough manpower to keep security on it, and people were actually stealing things out of here. Dad and I were just talking, saying, first I said, I can't believe it, but yeah, I can't believe it. People are lowlives. You'd think that somebody that took the time to go to a museum would respect that, but they don't. Thieves don't respect anything. Anyway, that is the ticket office, the agent and telegrapher. And this is the old cafe. Did a really good job with this. Did an excellent job refurbishing all this. I was always hoping that they would actually open that, start cooking in here again, but I don't think so. Huh? Want to go upstairs, Papa? Upstairs now. They actually had crew quarters here at one time. The rooms, we'll get to those in a minute, but looking out towards the tracks, obviously. Motor car wheel, a locomotive bell, and a track jack, old gauge rod. Petroglyph, they've done a lot of things are different since the last time I was here. It was about 3 years ago when I was here, 2 years ago. It's been a while, maybe 3 years. But go down to where they have the crew quarters refurbished. A little history of the mining that went on around here. I'm not going to stop and read all these, but you can always pause this and read all this stuff at your leisure. A story about Zizix. Both Huelhauser and Wonder Hussey did cool stuff on Zizix. Go check them out. I'll link those in the description below. And that is a picture of Kelso during World War II. 2,000 people in the 40s. And my decades and my numbers, my population mixed up, I think. All shot of the depot. Story of the salvation of the Kelso Depot. And I'm not going to read any of this stuff, but I will pause on it long enough for you to pause it and read it if you like. My friend Mel Paleo, whom I worked with for many years, we hired out about the same time. He retired about 10 years ago. But he did a painting for me of a picture that I took when I worked out here. And that's a very accurate representation right there. Mel's painting is a little more impressionist. A few books for sale there. This room used to be back at the end, but take a look at some of these books. I have that one. And you can see in there, these were the crew rooms. The reflection in the glass isn't too bad. You, guy my size, would have a hard time getting comfortable in those beds, but I'm sure they were a welcome relief to train crews who'd been in their engines for who knows how long. And these are the rooms for the people who actually worked here. They had a little better facility, a sink and a bathroom. The bed's even a little more comfortable. And this is looking east, up the hill. All right, I'll go round up Papa, and we'll go get her. There he is, right there.
Smiling.
Anyway,
I've got a Titan that you gave me. I think it's hanging on my porch.
we'll see if they want it. All right, well, we're gonna head down to the truck and go move to a better place to watch what I think will be a better place to watch the engine come through. All right, this is out at the west end of the depot. Not as pretty as the other end. I don't believe I've ever heard anybody honk a horn at Kelso. Oh, that red pickup just pulled right out in front of that car. A traffic jam at Kelso. I never thought I'd see it. A little bit more on history of Kelso before we get out of here. This big two-story Spanish style depot here is, I don't remember when this is built. I have a history book on this whole area, but it's been a long time since I checked it out. I wish I'd have brought it with me, but this was originally the Los Angeles and Salt Lake Railroad before UP bought it from them and assumed operation of it. But at one time during World War II, they had a turntable, engine facilities, whole 9 yards. It was a helper facility and a division point, and it was a pretty big deal. But there's the old post office. It's one of the only buildings other than the depot left at this part of Kelso. There's some more up there, but those are more modern. Over on the other side of the tracks, we'll go over there in a little bit, but the state park system and Union Pacific both maintain housing over there. They got the maintainer and water service guy that live over there. And the state park, a couple of the rangers live here. Get the water tanks there. But that way is SEMA. For those of you who have been to Vegas on 15, you'll see the SEMA Road exit there by the rest area. If you go about 20 miles south from there, you'll be actually in what used to be the community of SEMA. There's not much there anymore, but it's a very steep climb from here to SEMA, and that's why they had helper facilities here at one time. But anyway, beautiful scenery out here. The desert's got its own peculiar beauty. There's the Kelso Dunes over there. That is I've never been over there. I'm not care much about going out driving 3 miles down a dirt road to just see some more dirt piled up. But for those of you who enjoy that kind of stuff, the Kelso Dunes are about 5 miles from here. But more people showing up. If you've never been to Kelso, you can get there from Interstate 15. You turn south on Kelbaker Road at Baker, or north on Kelbaker Road off of Interstate 40, about 20 miles past Ludlow. And it is out here in the middle of nowhere. And they say you want to get to Kelso, you go out in the middle of nowhere, then turn right and go about 20 miles till you see the jackrabbits wearing canteens. That's where this is. But it's a cool place. If you've never been here and you like museums, railroad history, this is a pretty cool place to come. I recommend it. Moved over here to the other side of the tracks by the crossing. This is going to be a madhouse before it's all said and done. There was hardly anyone here when we got here. Now there's a boatload of people here. These poor foreigners on this Harleys yelling at that motorhome, get out of the way. They're all different parts of the world. I saw American flags, British flags, a Norwegian flag, and a French flag on those, on those coats those guys are wearing. But anyway, looking down here, this is where the residences are. Like I said, the Union Pacific, when I was out here, a guy named Richard Brown was the Kelso maintainer, and he lived in a nice double wide trailer. The railroad provided him free of charge. They paid for his gas and his electric, and man, I don't know about living out here. This is really a long way from anywhere. Baker is 35 miles that way, and that is a long way just to get to somewhere like Baker. Vegas is obviously the closest large town. I don't know. Barstow, I guess Barstow's about the same distance, but still, you're a hell of a long way from anywhere out here. There is a shot of the depot. Beautiful place. And looking up towards SEMA. All right. Looking out that way, you see the tamarask trees lining the tracks. They planted those out here to keep the sand from blowing across the tracks, fouling switches, causing other problems. And they actually have a water service guy who lives in one of those trailers, and his job is to take care of the irrigation of those trees. They have pipelines laid along the bases of them on both sides, and keep them watered, keep them green, keep them working. There's another section of them about 10 miles out, or there was when I worked out here anyway. But anyway, that is why they have those trees out here. And also, we're at the crossing right now. We're parked right over on the other side of this guy. But as I said, this was just a flashing red light when I worked out here. There was no crossing warning system out here. Just a flashing red light. He called me one night about 10 o'clock. Told me the crossing was down out here. I told them it's just a flashing red light. They wanted me to come out here to change the light bulb. I didn't do it. I liked overtime, but not that much. Well, they said that it's running late. I don't know how much late. Doesn't matter. We're here and going nowhere. But as you can see, starting to get a pretty good sized crowd out here. Not a lot of people. Certainly not as hectic as it's going to be down on the Cajon Pass. But when we first got here, Dad and I, when we pulled up, that car right there was the only one sitting here. But that's cool. I'm glad to see the interest in it. I'd like to see the interest in railroads come back. The millennials don't seem to be interested in very much. And hopefully things like this will jumpstart their passions and imaginations and get them away from playing video games and protesting everything that comes down the pike. Anyway, still waiting on the big boy. All right, for all you San Bernardino County residents, there are your tax dollars at work. Fire truck and a ambulance/rescue crew out here watching the big boy come through in Kelso, which is 100 miles from anywhere. No, actually they're probably stationed in Baker. Came down here to see the excitement. They can claim they were gonna fill the engine up with water and put out any fires it may cause. Oops. But anyhow, a lot more people showing up, just like I said. That would probably happen just before the engine arrived. It is supposed to be here at noon. It is noon right now, but they did say, as I mentioned earlier, it is running late. People out here, motorhomes, lawn chairs, umbrellas, shades. And these people got the good place in front of the signal cabin. Looks like there's a high rail vehicle coming. Looks like there's a high railer coming up this way. Maybe checking the track ahead of the train, who knows? May have something to do with it. But as I predicted, right before the train showed up, all the people would drift down from SEMA and show up here. Looks like what they did. But anyway, the train is due any minute now, so we'll move on with that when he gets here. But this high railer going through here, he's probably going to stop and tell everybody, never mind, the train's not going to show up. They're holding the big boy and all the other trains for him, so he can inspect the track ahead of him. All these people are going to have to wait another 5 hours. That'll be all right with me. I'll run up to Baker and get something to eat. All right, here he comes.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Come on there, bring it forward.
That's it.
Tell them to throw up some steam. Some steam, too.
Well, I'm sure that diesel is busy coming down the hill.
Yeah, almost crossed over.
So you lived here in Kelso?
No, I just had this territory. I lived in Bakersfield.
So that's where your home shop was for
Yeah,
all this?
Well,
area?
when I was here, my territory went from Bakersfield to Vegas.
Oh, shit. And I want bell system.
That sounds awesome.
Perfect lighting.
Notice they have the diesel engine back there to assist with dynamic braking. You didn't have dynamic brakes on steam engines. They use what were called retainers. When I do my segment on dynamic braking, I'll explain dynamic braking and retainers. Oil cars, water cars. Pretty cool. Well, let's go over here and get a little closer look at it. Really cool, huh? I'm really glad I got to bring my dad out here to see this. Glad I got to see it too, but where is Pop? Where'd he go? There he is. Guys up there doing whatever they're doing up there. Now we get a couple still shots of Dad standing in front of that like he did in Colton. Always been amazed by the engineering. This is a 884. It weighs 1.5 million pounds. The size of those connecting rods. The drivers, I'm not sure what size drivers are. They look to be about 72 inches or so. I'm not that conversant with everything about this engine other than it's gigantic and it's awesome. It's articulated, which means the frame underneath the boiler that actually has, it's actually two engines in one. The frame is articulated underneath the boiler so it can go around curves. I don't know what that is. Let me just flush the toilet. Its plate, engine number 69585. These engines, when they're sitting there, they sound like they're alive. They sound like they're breathing. And it's a madhouse. It's like I knew it would be. Everybody wants to get a shot. There's an amazing piece of machinery. You got the UP police out here making sure nobody gets funky. Jennifer said she looked up ticket prices to ride on this train because you can buy tickets to ride on these cars being pulled by it, but I think about $2,000 a ticket or something like that. It's only for, I don't know, Vegas to LA or something or whatever. But if you're on the cars back there, you're just in another Just another railroad car as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter what's pulling it. I guess if you've got the money to spare, it would be cool, but I don't. Awesome. That is a big ass piece of equipment. What an amazing thing. Little hand throw switch here, the U5 box on it. You'll be seeing those. We'll do a segment on switches. I've already done it. I just got to post it.
I've been in the snow, and up in here.
All right. Take a little break here until it takes off. That's going to be cool. Now you can watch the footage of them and think, well, how people hear their horns? They just steam. Don't ask that anymore. Sweet gig for those guys. Fireman sits on this side. It only takes 2 people to operate that engine, but a whole bunch of VIPs on there. Been sitting here for the schedule is 15 minutes. I guess that's about how long he's been here. Show you how busy this road isn't generally, because there's only about 10 cars backed up. I'm sure some of the people that didn't know what was going on here are thinking, hey, pretty cool thing to run up on. Yes, unless you just don't like trains. But even if you don't like trains, you still like steam engines. If you don't think these are cool, what's something wrong with you? There he goes, taking off. Sounds like the diesel's actually pushing him. He's not. Back on the other side of the street, or we'll get run over when we try to. There goes the service car. That's full of tools and mechanics and people that know what they're doing in case something goes wrong. Baggage car. And cars for the passengers. Experience the Union Pacific. I experienced the Union Pacific for 40 years. Well, 30 years. Doesn't look like this one's full. They must not have sold any tickets for this leg of it. Well, they didn't sell very many. Nope. All right, there it goes. The big boy leaving Kelso, headed for Yermo. Me and Dad are going to go to Baker and get something to eat. All right. Oh, this is hopefully our last stop. Maybe one more in Daggett. There's Pop. He's got his leftovers. Stopped here at Peggy Sue's. had us a meal across the street from the Marine Supply Depot here in, I guess this is Yermo. Daggett's over there. We're gonna go over to Daggett though. There used to be an abandoned blacksmith shop over there. I don't know if it's still there or not. That was when I worked over there. That was 20 years ago. But anyway, gonna mount up, head out. It's been a really fun road trip. Well, we came through Daggett. There was an old blacksmith building here. I wanted to show Dad, but it's still there, but it's all got a big solid fence around it. You can't even see through it. I'm not sure what that building there was. There's a store up there. Obviously used to be a gas station too. And a stone building, wooden one next to it. There's no sign of what they might have been. But this is the old Daggett garage. It was originally set on the Calico Dry Lake and was a locomotive repair facility for the Daggett and Borate narrow gauge railroad, which is spoken of in the Tonopah Tidewater book I have. Got BNSF. Headed east. But anyway, this building was moved again to another part of the Calico Dry Lake and used for the same facility for a silver ore narrow gauge, and then moved here in 1896 by some people that operated a, see there it says Daggett Garage, and they operated a auto garage here from the early 1900s until the mid 1980s. It's got a bunch of junk out behind it now. But maybe I'll come down here to Daggett one of these days, do a little research, and come down here and do a walk around of it. Anyway, heading out. Yep, we made it home, dropping Dad off. His old pickup, good grief. You have to fucking... When's the last time you drove this thing?
Shit, I don't even remember.
Anyway, we are at Dad's, dropping him off. And I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I'm gonna go home. Close this thing out from there. Well, I'm home and dry. The dog next door knows I'm home and dry. And dropped Dad off. We had a really good time. I'm glad that Dad was able to go with me. I'm glad I was able to go. And ate some good food. Saw a really cool engine and had a lot of fun bullshitting with Dad and laughing, telling stories and stuff. And it's been a long day. I left the house at about 5:45 this morning, and it is 10 minutes till 6 in the evening right now. So it's been a 12-hour day. But I'm gonna go in, chill out, and show Jennifer the videos I shot, edit this, so you guys can see it. We'll see you later.